Now we'll just talk all the issues talking about the athletics and marathon precisely, and some 10-kilometer race and all. But we have the women in sports with us right here in the studio, Victoria Wagba and of course MM Edem. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, let's just get started now for tomorrow. 10 kilometers race preparations for a longer one, and he wants all women to actually come out and join this race for fitness and all that. Now, when you're talking about this kind of race, what role will young girls who actually also want to run and stay fit to play in this one? I'll start with you because you did athletics.
Yes, it comprises of both the female and the women.
Okay.
Because they are all coming together. For the women who have not been into sports before, they will use that as a starting point for themselves. But for those who are into it already, they will use that towards preparation for the 42 kilometers run and 21 kilometers run, and also the 800, 1,500 race like that.
Okay.
They will use that to prepare themselves.
More like preparations for a higher one. Okay. Victoria, you played basketball, handball, basically, at the national level. During the period while you were playing, was there a kind of how do I put it now, discrimination? Because sometimes parents don't usually want girls to take up sports, but now they are embracing it. At that time, what was it like for you?
At that time, my parents really, as well as my dad, really discouraged me from doing sports. I was even beaten. But the moment he saw my name as a national player, she embraced and acknowledged me at that time. She was very happy that, my daughter is now a national player. So he was so happy because I was one of the women that set a hand in this country. I was still in secondary school then. So when I was in the country, I went for La France. So I was so happy. So since then, I've been in sports, and actually that period, there was nothing like a monetary aspect, but we were playing for pleasure to make name. But it's not presently, this generation now, they make name, money is involved. But at that time, there was no money involved. But we were playing for pleasure and just to make name. And it did happen at that point.
Okay, now with this women in sport now, when all the professional women administratively and those who've been in sports coming to get out to be organizing an event like this, how did this start in Lagos precisely?
Well, it started with women with professional backgrounds in administration and even in management and even academics in physical and health education. Okay. That's how we came together, and all ex-international players, ex-international came together to form this but the person that really formed it was has passion in sports. That's Professor Adeyonju from ABU. That's who started it. And then others started joining.
Okay, I'll come to MM now. This particular event, the 10-kilometer run, it's a collaboration between Nigerian Women in Sport as well as the Lagos State Sports Commission. Why have you decided to do this particular event? Is there damning statistics out there about the participation of women in sports? What is it like?
We decided to do it because we are trying to create general awareness, and also for the preparation for what I have just said before.
Yes.
So because with all this, if I'm able to get all these things done, then our women too will be featuring in all other sporting activities apart from the athletics events.
Okay, but at the moment, do you have any thoughts on the participation of women in sports generally in the country? Would you say it's good enough, or it's not good enough?
Now, this is the start for it.
This is the first of its kind.
This is the first of a kind in Nigeria.
You're talking about a statistic, because when you talk about sports, you can have maybe let's say 80 boys participating, and girls maybe just 20.
We are looking at in 2000.
Okay.
We're looking at about 2,000 numbers coming to participate.
Okay, 2,000 numbers.
Yes.
Now, the reason why you decide to just focus on women alone, is it simply because you have lesser women going into sports?
Yes.
Okay.
It's because we are trying to bring together all the women in Nigeria for the purpose of development, planning, and also presenting a united proof for national and international event.
Okay, but
that's why we are doing that.
Okay, but the level is you have to start from this 10 kilometers race.
You have to
bring all of them together.
Then
if you now have the zeal, the desire to continue with the sport, then you can continue.
Yes.
Is there age barrier for this race for tomorrow?
No age barrier.
Tomorrow, it's from 18 years.
From 18 years. Okay, from 18 years, so you can actually come and do it. So if anyone wants to pick up sports, they can actually pick it up from there.
Yes.
Outside this 10-kilometer race, are there other events you organize to actually the girl child can actually embrace and further their career in sports?
Like for the secondary schools, we are trying to organize that this December, 1st and 2nd, for all private and all secondary school generally.
Okay.
For both male and female, for them to come out and participate.
Okay. We're actually talking about the fact that this kind of competitions actually kind of sets the pace, it sets the ball rolling for those who haven't been able to do sports all through the years, because we know that usually guys are favored to come into sport than the girls and all. So for this particular event, now what time is it going to start, and those that haven't heard about it, how can they actually come in to take part in the race?
It's going to start by 7 o'clock. We are flagging it up by 7 o'clock, and it's starting from National Stadium round till we get to Empire. Do you know where Empire is?
Yes.
Then from there we got it to Yaba,
to
Apapa Road. Then we bust out at Costain. Then back to Teslim Balogun.
Okay, well, that's a trip. Okay,
that's the route.
That's a long trip. That's a long route. Interesting. You have 20 people, 2,000 already indicated interest. Anyone that can participate. So how can they do that again, since it's already tomorrow?
Some have been collecting their forms and they've been returning it back to us. So we've collected the numbers of those who have returned it already.
Yeah, that's how many now.
And we have about,
as
at yesterday, we have about 1,006.
Okay, and your target is 2,000. So people still have the chance
tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Yes, they can still bring it tomorrow morning before the race take off.
Okay. What about preparations and what has it been like? I mean, obviously it's a marathon, so it's a very tough race.
Yes, things have been put in place.
Okay, like
the officials are ready. And all those logistics things, we have also put in everything in place. So everything is going to be
the medics,
the medicals, everything.
Are we going to have water breaks as strategic locations?
Yes. We have it. We have the fruit.
Okay.
Because that's what we normally use for that kind of a race.
Okay.
So we have the fruit ready. We have the water point, and everything is on ground. Okay,
so it's like everything is set for the race now. Okay, we have information for the race now. Let's talk about you, MM. I mean, she talked to us how she started the sport and her parents was in agreement. But when she went for the All African Games, hey, she became the darling of the house. So for you ran 100 meters. That was your specialty, right?
Yes.
So what's it like at that time?
Well, at that time, my parents wasn't in support either. But because of my stubbornness, I was going out without them knowing.
Okay, sneaking out of the house.
So when I come back late,
they knew that something went wrong.
So I know something is wrong already, so I won't go in on time. So I'll just stay outdoor. You know I've annoyed them. So what they will just tell me, just come in and eat. It's your problem. Anyhow you want to do it, it's your life. So I'll just go in, I'll plead with them, they agree that I should just be going. So the next time, when I started making it, started going into national teams, then I look at, well, let me leave you. Since you have proven yourself that this is what you want to do, but first, remember your education. That was the first thing he told me. Remember your education. Don't joke with your education. If you know you want to go into this sporting of a thing, just make sure your education first. And I said, okay, thank you, sir. That was how I started.
And from the people you have interacted with over the years, and would you say that kind of mentality is still in play now, where parents are not really, supporting the girls?
It's still happening.
So how can we stop that?
We can stop that by getting the parents involved in all this. If you want any athlete to come and be training for any sport activity, then you must let the parents know about it. You get them involved, let them know how the training is going, so that from there they will develop the interest. Then from there they will allow their children to be going for any activities of such.
Okay. Yeah, Victoria, before we wrap up, handball, I mean, that was your specialty and all that. This is a sport that's more like dying in Nigeria, so to speak. Even when you have it, you only see it just in secondary school. At national level, it's difficult for us to actually raise a team, for Nigeria. What are the things we can actually do to change this trend?
The problem is our Nigerian government, I would say. Okay. We have the players out there, but they're not being encouraged. Assuming they encourage them, will have gone to places. And in those days, they send players for playing tours and everything to stay long. So that if you want to win laurel in this country, you have to go for playing tour, long campaign, so that they will be able to win laurels. But this is never done. The only thing we can do is that if we can bring them together to start from the grassroots and train them vigorously, we'll make something in this country. Handball, like you said, is actually dead. Not even handball, it's other sports.
Most sports.
Most team sports. So, but if you start from the grassroots and encourage them now and pump money into the players, they'll do something.
And also have to start from parents, because you have to involve the parents so that their kids can also play sports.
No, the parents will like it now because they know that money is involved.
Okay, now.
Yes, but yes.
Yeah, there's money in the sports now, so parents definitely want their kids to actually get into sports. But it's not left for the government to also pick it up from there, because they wouldn't really have that resources to take their kids to playing tour and every other thing. And since it's a team sport, so it's easier for us to do that. Well, thank you so much for coming on the program. Thank you. Can I be part of it tomorrow? I'm not too sure. I'm ready for 10 kilometers race.
You have to go first.
Okay, well, thank you for coming on the program. Thank you.